wherever you may be. Welcome to the One Perspective to Another podcast. I'm your humble, gracious, highly favored, hot as hell right now, host A. Sanders, and this is episode 113 of the One Perspective to Another podcast. Make sure you check out the website www.oneperspectivetoanother.com. Make sure you click on them links. Click on the podcast. If you see anything on Amazon, click that link too. Buy it from me. Buy it from your boy. It's from me. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening to these 113 episodes, whether you listen to 10, whether you listen to 1, whether this is your first time listening. This is my podcast. This is the beginning, middle, and end of perspective, of thought, of randomness, of diary, of everything that is me. The things that go on in my mind palace, the things that transpire, can't even talk, in my mind. Just current events, movies, TV shows, all of the above. But for this episode, I'm really in a evergreen mode. But yeah, without further ado, these are things that have been going on inside of my mind. No pre-note this time, just going one by one with the things. And the first thing that's really been on my mind as of late is the question. These are a lot of questions. And the first question is the goal really peace? I see a lot of people just taking my own time off of literally just the world of people, social media. Is the goal really peace? Is your peace of mind, is your happiness really what's important? And I feel like the same thing with when it comes to certain people and relationships and love. Like, they feel like they're required to have another person fill that void. I remember fucking few 20 or 40 episodes ago, I did the podcast about Will and Jada, but look what happened after all that shit. But the same principle, we still want to be in that same principle of things, is that he was not required for her happiness and she was not required for his happiness. I think the same thing goes for peace, because a lot of people, I feel currently, I don't know if it's a mental health issue or a mental just not understanding, but not even mental health to the point where it's something really wrong with somebody or it's something, a chemical imbalance. It's just a people choice not to address, and that is the responsibility of peace being for you, and it being your responsibility, of people trying to ignore what brings them happiness. Because at the end of the day, when you have a problem, the goal is to reduce it, to make it so it's not a problem anymore. I feel some people, they want problems. They want it to be something. They want it to be an issue because of whether it's society, whether it's mental health, whether it's people, whether it's family, whether it's friends. They become a little addicted to the drama, I guess you can say. But being in my own world as of late, it just makes me more understanding and more valuable to my own peace. The beauty of not having to deal with bullshit of making horrible decisions, making horrible choices, not doing anything that is out of the woodworks, just to find something that they don't even know what they want. Having peace of mind and being able to do the things that bring you towards a goal is the most beautiful thing I think I've ever achieved or imagined. Maybe some people would say it's the Capricorn in me, but in having a plan and executing in XYZ, ABC, whatever you want to call it. But it's not like it makes me more happy or it makes me feel overjoyed or something. It's just that if something happens, you adapt. If you do make a plan and something happens, you adapt. But you made the plan to begin with. And a lot of times people will say that they'll use the words that I can't, or but this, or but that. I can't do this. It's not meant for me. It all boils down to a choice. It always boils down to situational awareness and what you are responsible for. And at the end of the day, you are responsible for your peace. And this thought came to me because I just got back on social media and see how much drama and how many problems people create from bullshit. And it's just really interesting to see people choose to deal with bullshit, choose to make horrible choices, choose to deal with things that don't need any attention. But it's hard being a human sometimes, so I can understand. But for all the petty shit, don't fuck with my peace. Please do not fuck with my peace. As Maul would say from the Joe Budden podcast, I'm not always right, but I'm always real. And that's something that's real to me. Speaking of the Joe Budden podcast, this is another question they asked on the podcast is, what do men do when they are the ones who are in an abusive relationship, if the woman is abusive? And it led me down that path of like the woman, if you say that, not all women, a particular group of women, if you said that to them, they would instantly go to attacking the man. And the goal of these things is to give people perspective about the event, not the sex that comes with it. And by sex, I mean man or female. I mean female or male, boy or girl, woman or man. Because a lot of times, like society, and the first thing that popped into my head when I listened to it is I would hear, oh, she's hitting me. And then she would, like, if you call the cops or something, somebody would come up and the cop would be like, she hits you? You being the bigger man, the bigger creature, the bigger entity. She's 5'2" and can't even fucking lift a hair, but she's still abusive to you. It made me put that in perspective and seeing a group of people who would just cater to the man and say, not cater to the man, but disrespect the man and say that, oh, it's not true, or oh, it can't be, no way that could happen to him. But it does happen. A lot of men are in abusive relationships, and it's not to take away light of that it happening to women. And a lot of times too, the argument that I always have in having these conversations with women, it's not about the man or the woman, it's about the issue of it being abuse. Whether it's the man or the woman, people always bring sexism into an issue when it has nothing to do with it. Whoever chose to hit the other person, they both fucking wrong, whether it's a man or a woman. And then that led me down to this other thought process of like everything that's going on with like politics and Black Lives Matter and these people, trans lives and all the different movements and the bombing. I can't even think of the place anymore off the top of my head. But like the news cycle, like everything is just dead and gone now. And the thing that really struck me was I went down the street a little bit to get some new pictures for the murals and stuff. Just good art to be seen, because it's really colorful in Oakland right now, downtown Oakland, to just see all the murals and sit in the color. But it made me think, because protesting and being a part of those marches, wherever you may be, wherever you participated at, it led me down the road to thinking of like, as I was going to take those pictures, there were homeless people who were on the street, like living. And it made me think about, I'm taking a picture of these people about protesting for Black Lives Matters, but like we're protesting in the street while there's still homeless people on our streets. And it's like, we're protesting for Black Lives Matter. And I'm not saying that not any disrespect or anything, but it's just like a perspective. It is my thought process of like, there's so many different things going on in the world, but we protest in streets or there's other problems still there. It's just that Black Lives Matter was just so prevalent in the moment. But it's like homelessness is still an issue. Abuse is still an issue. Race is still an issue. Cancer is still an issue. It's like just all these things that are still important that we don't have solutions to, that we don't have any idea of what's going next, what's going to happen next, whether it's an ism or whether it's homelessness, whether it's a disease, whether it's somebody who's who don't know what they're doing in office, whether it's politics, whether it's whatever it is. Like, there's still a lot of just shit going on, but we select and we pick and choose. We can be the person who talks about X, Y, and Z, but we don't understand A, B, and C. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So it's like, if somebody's telling you what they're fighting for, you shouldn't say no that they're not, or no, I don't believe this, or no, it can't be that way. Whether it's the woman who goes to the doctor and is misdiagnosed and not being seen, whether it's the man who has cancer and he doesn't know it, whether it's the woman who's in a toxic environment, whether it's a woman in a toxic relationship, whether it's the man in a toxic relationship. We got to stop giving these things a sexist twist because it's a man or a woman, or whether it's a person or a thing or a disease or being mistreated. Like, all that shit still matters, and I've just been trying to like formulate a way to make everything recognizable and everything on the same level, to be discussed, to be talked about, to be engaged with. Because I feel like everybody's going to say they want to get out of 2020, but I'm really stuck in 2020 because a lot of shit has happened and people just swept it under the rug. It came and went with the news cycle, and something that really irritates me is getting older, and it's like I'm a part of that cycle too, and I want to change that personally as well too. It's just like the moment only matters until the moment happens to you, or that moment only is important until you're in it or it happens to you. Like I said, like, why does it have to be that way? And then there's still people who deal with the aftermath of all of this. There's still people who gotta go to work and still deal with shit that some people say is real, some people say it's fake with COVID, and it's just like, where does this shit end? Where does the misdiagnosis of people stop? Where does the hate of people stop? Where does it stop? It's just questions that I have. The Evergreen Question Podcast, and it's like, how do we move forward? And for me personally, it's just finding peace, just doing what I've been doing and working on my books and my goals and my shit. And it's just being by yourself and being in your world is very important. Not all the time, but understanding your own world before you engage in another's world, before you look to this invisible force that's just supposed to guide you and tell you everything that you need to know, whether it's love or anything. It ain't nothing outside of you. Everything that you need is inside of you. You're not going to get it from the dude you like. You're not going to get it from the chick that you like. You're not going to get that shit from your mom. You're not going to get it from your dad. You find your peace from within you. Whatever brings you happiness, and remembering that happiness is not a pivot point. It's a fucking journey. It's peace and happiness, peace, happiness, peace, happiness, and everything around it, and everything in between, the hate, the love, the time, the grind, the crying, the fuck yous, the I hate you, the disrespect, the self-loathing, everything in between. But you got to get back to the peace. The peace is the most important thing. And it's like, the biggest question of all is, when is the world going to find peace? When will there be a happiness equilibrium for everybody? And the older I get, the more I ask these questions, because it just seems like everybody is just so far apart. Or maybe it's just me waking up to how the world really is. It's just really intriguing to see the world unfold, especially in 2020. Those are my thoughts. Those are my questions. Hopefully I'll have some solutions one day. One of my books might be a solution to those things. But yeah, that's my podcast this week. A little different, but just the things that's been on my chest, on my mind, on my heart, on my soul. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoy the little piece of my mind. I hope everybody is well, staying safe, staying blessed. Tell your friends, your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever you engage with, your siblings, tell them you love them, tell them you appreciate them, tell them that they are important, and just keep doing what you're doing. One moment at a time, that's all we can do in this world. Just keep doing that shit. So without further ado, you already know what time it is. It's an old school sleeper. We probably played this shit before. We 113 episodes deep, so I'm probably going to have some doubles by now, but it's all good. And I will catch you on the flip side, and I am out.
They made a monster out of me. They put a shot in my bed. They gave me to the count of 3. They set the hounds on my tracks. They made a demon out of me. Then they put a cross to my face. They put a circus out for me. 'Cause I got some blood on my hands. But they would see me when I'm coming. I'll be laughing while you're running. Oh, you won't see me when I'm coming. I'll be the monster you've been wanting. They made a story out of me. They laugh and joke about my name. They pulled a bounty out of me. They're all excited by my shame. But they would see me when I'm coming. I'll be laughing while you're running. Oh, you won't see me when I'm coming. I'll be the monster you've been wanting.
Remember when you wanted to forget me? You let me rest in pieces and let the rest piece me together. Yeah, we ain't never had spirit in the flesh. These people let me loose, but they wish they would've kept me now. Convertible feet out, told my sponsor I don't write bars, I get freestyle. And if your hand never held me down, don't fucking reach out. All's fair in love and war, but I love a war. How you picking on the chosen one? 'Cause when it rainbows, they ain't colorful. I'ma be the last man standing at the young one.
Black time moving through the jungle. Got me feeling like my name is Rambo. Hey, let's ramble. We can do it any way you want to. Way back time moving through the jungle. Got me feeling like a Rambo. Hey, let's ramble. We can do it any way you want to. Hey.